Criminal Court number 11, and you are here with me in the Frank Crowley Courthouse. Today I have another special guest, Miss Cherie Jackson. She is the Human Traffic Coordinator for the Dallas District Attorney's Office. But before we talk about that, before I interview her, I want to tell you a quick story about what just happened to me Monday. Today is Thursday. Monday I was out at the Grand Prairie Outlets doing some shopping in Bloomingdale's, and as I walked out after making my purchase, the security guard was standing by the door and stopped me. And he said, are you going to your car? I said, yes. He said, well, I'm going to stand out here and watch you to your car. And I said, well, why? What's going on? He said, we've had 3 incidences of human trafficking right here on this corner in the past week. And I thought, wow. So it's kind of scary.
Yes.
Human trafficking I've known about it being in the criminal justice system, but I feel like now the media is putting more of a highlight on it and more people are becoming aware of it. My understanding, it's all over Dallas Metroplex, and it's just kind of been a quiet secret.
It has. Would you be surprised? What number do you think Texas is in the ranking for human trafficking?
I would say 6, 7, 8.
We're number 2.
Wow.
Texas is number 2. And that is one of the things that we like to share because it's not an overseas encounter. And a lot of this, the snatching, kidnapping, has been more profound because Backpage is gone.
I didn't know Backpage was gone.
Yes, Backpage, the FBI shut down Backpage. And so a lot of the perpetrators were able to get their victims online, but that has been shut down. And there are other online entities that they can use, but Backpage was the prevalent one. And so now we have more people that's going to hit the streets and try to find victims.
Tell me, tell them what is human trafficking?
Human trafficking is the force, fraud, and coercion. And this is the commercial sex aspect of it, when you are forcing someone to have sex. And you're using force, fraud, or coercion. And when I say that, force, I want to explain that there are certain kind of traffickers or pimps. The force, where you're getting kidnapped and pulled into cars or getting shot with things, or that is called the gorilla pimp.
Gorilla pimp?
Gorilla pimp. Every pimp is not a gorilla pimp. And so I do want to clarify what the different pimps do and who they are. So that is the more dangerous pimp, who will stab you, shoot you, kidnap you, throw you in a car. That's called a gorilla pimp. We also have the Romeo pimp. He's the one that a lot of the girls, they fall in love with. In the first couple of weeks, he seems like a normal, great guy. He's buying them things, he's willing them in, and it seems like he's a great guy.
He's the manipulator.
He is. And so then he eventually gets the girls to sell their body. And they do consider that love.
So does human trafficking happen to just young girls?
Mainly it does happen to young girls. What we're seeing now is the first increase where they are just snatching any type of woman, because that has never been the case since I've been doing this for 14 years. So typically it was girls that were from 12 to 18 years old. But now, because of Backpage is down and the demand is high, because one of the things that I tell everyone, you have to think about human trafficking in the aspect of drugs. The drug dealers can sell that drug one time, where you can continue to sell a human. And you have to think about that. You can continue to sell a human over and over again. So that's the thing that they found, that they can make more money selling women.
What are some things that women need to be aware of that would hopefully protect them from human trafficking?
Well, women need to be aware of their surroundings. We hear this all the time. Take your keys out, go to your car, remember where you parked. You need to be aware of your surroundings. But to me, the huge thing is the community at large needs to be looking out for one another. We need to remember that we have women and children that are out here, and just kind of look in things that don't seem safe. If you're seeing things put on windshields, if you're seeing something unusual, go back inside. Don't try to investigate or figure that out. Call law enforcement to help you.
So, and you may or may not know this, but when someone is being kidnapped by a gorilla
pimp, yes.
Gorilla pimp, is it just one person that's doing this, or is this a group of people, or?
It's just one. It's normally just one, and that's the correlation between domestic domestic violence and human trafficking, in human trafficking, the perpetrator can have multiple women under his control. So we have went to various places in massage parlors. Those are big things that you guys are seeing in the news a lot now, but these things have been going on. And so a lot of times these women are held captive in the massage parlors and they're having to live and eat and sleep there. So their identity is being stolen.
If someone somehow is watching this that is in that situation, how do they get out?
It depends. Some people run. Some people are, some people run. Some people are rescued. Sometimes we get tips. The police department may get tips. The DA's office, we get tips here, and we'll forward that to the police department or FBI or Homeland Security, depending on the severity of it. And then we go out with them. So anytime a victim is rescued here in Dallas County, I'm on the scene to help the victim.
What would you say to a young girl for the Romeo pimp, like an 18-year-old girl who is just looking for love? We've all been that girl, right?
Yes, we have.
What do you say to her?
I say, talk to your parents about who you meet. Let that person meet your parents. Let other people meet who you are potentially wanting to date, and don't keep things a secret, because that's the stigma. They're hoping that you keep those first couple of meetings or a secret, and no one knows and can identify who that person is. And so you need to be able to at least show your friends and family. Check out these Facebook pages, because Facebook will tell you a lot. The Twitter page, social media tell you a lot about a person. So really do your research before you just believe what that person is saying. We all want love, but we want healthy love.
And I think if you somehow are in that situation, you need to know a person who loves you is not going to pay for someone else to sleep with you.
Yes, they're not going to ask you to sell your body.
Ever.
And then take the proceeds from that and then tell you to go back out. And the one big thing is that I have to stress is that human trafficking victims, they have a quota.
A quota?
They have a quota. So pimps they have quotas. So that particular pimp, his quota may be $1,500. So that woman cannot eat or stop working until she obtains that $1,500.
Wow.
Yes. So it really is modern day slavery.
Is there a correlation between human trafficking and domestic violence?
It is, because most of the perpetrators are violent. The women, and you hear this all the time, well, why don't they just leave? You hear that with domestic violence, you hear that in human trafficking. You can't just leave. You cannot just leave. And I stress it is no woman wants to sell their body. No one wants to do that.
Right, no.
Yeah. Nobody's volunteering to do that. So.
All right, are there some areas that are high risk or high activity of human trafficking going on in the Metroplex?
Yes. We do have, of course, Harry Hines is a hot prostitution area, but of course human trafficking is happening there. We have Irving, we have DeSoto, Duncanville, pretty much it's happening everywhere because it's happening in plain sight. You can get a house anywhere and have human trafficking victims living there.
Really?
Yes. And so if you're seeing traffic in and out that street and something unusual, constant partying, constant traffic, you just make a call and say something looks strange. Do not go check it out. Just make a call and say something looks strange.
Yeah, that's the next question I have for you. What is someone, a family member who feels like their loved one is being human trafficked, or a neighbor or a church member that feels like they know someone that's going through this because they see something weird going on? What all can they do?
Well, they just need to call their local PD. Okay. Every local PD is going to take the tip that you've given. They're going to go investigate it. So they will do that.
And are there agencies out there that help specifically with human trafficking that maybe victims can reach out to?
Yes, we have New Friends, New Life. We have Mosaic. We have Salvation Army that helps. We have a few, but once again, Dallas is not prepared for the numbers that we receive. So a lot of times we do have to send victims out of state.
That was my next question, because I would think if I was in that situation, I would be afraid of leaving because I don't know where I'm going to go.
And most people are, but you're also afraid of staying because the trafficker or the pimp, he is violent. And he knows where you live, he knows where your family lives, so he's done his homework. And so we need you to be in a safe place so you can be reprogrammed and so you can start your new normal. And that's the big thing.
And will some of those agencies provide housing?
They provide housing, they provide education, they provide food, so they provide everything. So when we do send them out of state, they have all their basic needs met, and then things for a new beginning.
Will a human trafficker take a woman who has a child, take both of them?
Yes, that's leverage.
Mm.
That's leverage, and that's why a lot of women do stay, because they do not want their children taken.
Right.
He has their child, so she has to go out and work, or he won't give her child back. So it's huge.
I have so many questions, but I promised that I was going to keep all these videos short so that, you know, people nowadays, they're so used to swiping and getting through things fast. But is there anything that you feel like the community needs to know, a victim of human trafficking needs to know, or even the pimp needs to know today?
Well, the pimp needs to know that we are coming after you.
Yes.
We are watching out. The community at large needs to be prepared and watch out for one another, love on one another, and be nosy. That is my big thing.
Be nosy.
Be nosy. Do not mind your own business. This is not the time and the day and the age to mind your own business. Be involved in the community. Wrap your arms around this youth, because they are targeting our babies.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Thank you.